What's it be, y'all? It's Jen Fremont. I wish this camera would be in the right place when you turn it on. It always changes. You get it all lined up and it changes. But anyway, I'm sitting in my backyard here. I thought I would make another video. It is about how meditation is a model for life. My last couple of videos I've been talking about things that I have been made aware of a lot of the stuff that I have been programmed with in my life. And that programming has led me to make a lot of unhealthy choices. And in those choices, in that moment, I was not being mindful. All I was doing was wanting the urge, the desire, the wanting to go away. I was grasping at something. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to do another video on some of the books, because in my other video I was talking about how a lot of the old folks that started me on the path, the books and things, they're gone, and I guess there's some folks that have replaced them. I don't really know, but I do know that it's not as prominent as it used to be. And I've also had a hard time actually sitting down and listening to that sort of more esoteric stuff. On the way home from the supermarket, I was listening to a collection of the writings of Manly P. Hall. He was talking about the history that we never hear about of the Iroquois in their confederation in the 1500s. And it in some ways, the story of the leader that started that confederation is kind of like a Messiah type story, the born of a virgin type story. And it's the sort of stuff that we don't ever hear about. I never heard about it. And the protege of the leader that started it was named Hiawatha. And I know that name, but I couldn't tell you anything about what Hiawatha did until now. And I'm seeing that a lot of stuff, there is so much history of North America that's been covered up, that has been swept under the carpet. And a lot of the stuff that I was studying before was stuff about Egypt and Africa and Europe and even Asia. And I think a lot of that stuff, there's a lot of stuff out there. There is a lot of things out there that do not get heard in the mainstream of scientific talk. And I think that's by design. They want to keep everybody ignorant. They want to keep everybody focused on their own little life. And basically keep them separated from a history that is just as rich as any other continent. And I'm also coming to see, I always knew that there were connections, but now I'm finding more stuff on the connections between the Americas and the rest of the world in historic times and prehistoric times. And it's, once again, it's things that we never hear about. I think I'm going to try to point you all in a direction, and maybe you can go and find some of this stuff for yourself. Like I was saying, I've been listening to a YouTube channel called Leak Project. And got a lot of interesting stuff on there. I would not say that absolutely everything on there is, gospel, let's just put it that way, but it opens your mind to things. And like when I was listening to Coast to Coast years ago, it would be, a lot of the stuff on there rang true, but a lot of it also was stuff that I would be like, yeah, I don't know about that. But it was interesting to hear about. It was a different point of view. And it goes back to something that I have always known, but I haven't always practiced either. Just because you read a book about something, that doesn't mean that you have to agree with that point of view. You don't have to agree with the point of view of an author to be able to read their book. And I have fallen into that sometimes too, thinking, well, that person doesn't have anything valid to say, because people have told me this, that, or the other thing about it. And when I do go and explore, I find, yeah, maybe they're not that bad. Maybe they do have something valid to say. And it doesn't mean that you have to take, just because they have one valid thing, doesn't mean that absolutely everything is valid either. Because I would say that everything that I say is probably not valid. And it is certainly not absolutely valid for everybody who's watching this video. You have to find the truth for yourself. And it helps to be able to look at different points of view. Because if you only look at one point of view, you're never going to find anything. And it closes your mind off to any other possibility that there might be out there. And I've kind of found myself closing down my point of view, as much as I think I have an open mind, but closing down my point of view in some ways and not being as open as I should be. So that's what I mean by starting over too. Because in meditation, when you see that your mind is drifting, you just bring it back, and you bring it back, and you bring it back. And at this point, my mind is drifted, and I need to bring it back. And I would encourage you to do the same thing. And just because you go off on a tangent somewhere, doesn't mean you can't bring it back. You can't bring it back. So, this is Gen Free Mind. Blessed be you.